scripture laid on my heart that I would like to share, because I felt like as I knew Jeff, he always represented himself this way. And it says, Jeremiah 33:3, call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. And one of my favorite memories about Jeff, I was really little, and he would always work this the Rubik's Cube like no other, and I had no idea there's a formula, and like there's a way that there's a process to the cube, I just thought he was crazy smart all the time. And that's how I could tell he carried himself in a way that represented God. He allowed you to be curious and to seek, and he was there to provide, when things don't make sense. It's not supposed to sometimes, and if you can allow yourself to be a vessel for the Lord, things that you could never imagine will come into your life. And he gave me curiosity for Rubik's Cube, and that's just how Jeff was to me.
Anyone else?
We were blessed to have Jeff and Angela in the family here at Gateway Community Church for many years, and I'll never forget his sermons, his songs, his special songs. And I don't think I ever saw Jeff without a beautiful smile. And he loved his family, and he loved God and God's people. And he just oozed God's goodness and grace and blessing and joy and peace. Whenever he was around, you felt the presence of God. And I will always cherish those memories.
Anyone else?
Like Marty said, it was really nice seeing Jeff and his family in our church, and when they had Bella and watching the girls grow. Jeff was a man of faith. He had tremendous faith in God. I remember once when he was speaking here, and he went up to the mic, and it started out where he just felt God wanted him to walk. And he would walk and walk and walk, and he said, some things you don't know answers to, you just gotta walk it out. It dawned on me at that time then later that he was really talking about faith. He knew God had more for him, and he, by faith, was gonna go for it. And I really appreciated that about Jeff, because he was always listening to God, and he always believed and had this faith inside, this incredible faith that God was going to work everything out. He just had to do something and move, but by faith he was going to move, and he just knew God was going to work it out. And I really appreciated that. And my funniest memory of him is when we were on a cruise, and we were at one of the islands in the Bahamas, and him and Steve were out in the water, and my granddaughter was out in the water, and I was on the other end by the road, and I went out into the sea. Well, of course, I got sucked under, and I was trying to get up, but people don't realize I don't have any knees. It's hard for me to get up. So I'm laughing, and Jeff knew instinctively, while everybody was laughing at me, and it was funny, but he knew that I was having problems, because he came up and goes, Debbie, let me get you, and he helped me get up, because the water, the tide would come in and it'd go over my head. And I couldn't breathe for a few moments till it went back out. And he helped me up, and he said, I do the same thing. When I get nervous and scared, I laugh. And he was just so sweet to be there, and I'll never forget that hand reaching and pulling me out of the water. But we were really privileged to get to know them better on that trip, and it's a wonderful memory.
Anyone else?